And now the last segment of Panther Joe.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. As she said, this will be our final installment of the evening. As you can see, our meal is ready to go. We've waited our 25 minutes. Now let's take a peek and see how she looks. Doesn't that look just like a bit of alright? What we'll do is go ahead and we'll take a knife and we'll insert it into the meal. And by inserting it and pulling it back out, if it comes out mostly clean, that means that you're ready to go. Now that we know that our meal is ready, we'll go ahead and cover it, keep it nice and warm, and we'll set the table. When setting the table, obviously you need to know how many people are going to be there. There's one for me, and one for whoever decides to show up. We're going to need a fork for this meal. The fork is going to go on the left. Now, generally, if you're eating with quite a few people and you're having a very large meal, very full meal, you're going to have much more than just your common fork. We're also going to have a knife and 2 spoons. One is your soup spoon, which I seem to have none of. I have none. Your soup spoon would go on the right side as close to the plate as possible, with your big spoon, which I would assume is your dessert spoon, on the far, and then you work your way out. So now that my table's set, let's go ahead and get out something to drink, because Lord knows we can't have something to eat without having something to drink. And we'll nose around because I still don't know where anything is at. And we'll get 2 nice glasses. And then we'll get a drink. Now, a drink doesn't really matter. It can be Coke, it can be water, it can be juice, whatever you feel comfortable with. And since my wife isn't here, we're going to go ahead and have something delicious. Now, how many of you thought that I was going to go ahead and get my pregnant wife drunk? Please, I have a little bit better judgment than that. Now, let's just say that this was champagne. And as a matter of fact, this stuff behaves pretty much the same way. When you take a glass, you hold it by the stem so that you don't get any fingerprints on the bottom of the glass that would show up when you poured your beverage. You tilt it slightly so that when you pour, you're pouring down the glass to cause as little bubbles as possible. When pouring, you pour from the top side down into the glass at a healthy rate, but don't get crazy with it. Now with champagne, when you pour from the side like that, by causing less bubbles, you're causing less flavor disruption. Don't ask me. I'm not a connoisseur. I just saw it in a movie once. And again, you take it by the stem, pour across, and down the side. Don't spill. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. You're always going to put your drinks on the right-hand side of your plate because most people are right-handed. So when they eat and when they drink, they'll use their right hand a lot more often than they will their left. When you're drinking during the meal, you would also take a glass by the stem. Now, we'll go ahead and put the cap back on this and put it back in the refrigerator to keep it as cold as possible. Because if you're having a nice warm meal, the last thing you want is a nice warm drink. And there we are. Our table is set. Now, serving. You're on your own. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure having you in my home tonight. I've taught you how to make a wonderful meal. I've taught you how to set the table. Don't let it ever be known that Panther Joe never taught you nothing. Good eye.